This week in things that lasted longer than the Confederacy, it's Microsoft's $7.6 billion mistake. That's billion with a B, the Windows Phone. You've probably never heard of it, but it was first released in October of 2010. It's going to last all the way out until November of 2020 before being discontinued. That's over 10 years. That's twice as long as the Confederacy. And you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, Lieutenant Tommy, technically, didn't the Windows Phone's operating system end its updates in 2015? You'd be correct, but still, that's longer than the Confederacy. This thing has a bigger cultural impact and a bigger heritage in the United States than the South could have ever imagined. We should be flying Windows phones, not Confederate flags. Windows flags. Windows Phone flags, not Confederate flags. You get what I'm saying? But true talk here. The Windows Phone, I don't know why it was overlooked. The Nokias, they were phenomenal. Now, granted, when Microsoft acquired Nokia, they kind of ran them into the ground, which is what cost them the $7.6 billion. But the phones themselves, that's not the problem. Super thin. This phone, over 5 years old, is still, actually it's like 10 years old at this point, still, it's as thin as a modern smartphone. It still has the headphones jack. It didn't sacrifice that through its thinness. The operating system was very intuitive, had these little tiles that all your apps were right there with little pictures, so you knew what you were doing real quick. You give it to a child, and they're going to be able to, oh, look, N for Netflix. I'm going to click on that. I mean, anybody could have used this. The operating systems were snappy at the time for what they had. This phone, you can still technically use it today, although it is very slow. It's like it has everything you'd want, but it is archaically slow nowadays, which also goes into the whole like smartphones. We've progressed all that way, but we really haven't progressed all that way because at the end of the day, other than getting slightly faster, it's really still the same thing that you have from 10 years ago. But that's beside the point. The phones, cameras, the Nokia's cameras, best on the market at the time. And I'm pretty sure there was a season of 24 with the Jack Bauers that had Windows phones going on for it. And then Microsoft pulled the plug because they couldn't get third-party support, so all your apps were very limited. I mean, when I got a divorce, I was like trying to get on the Tinders when that was the first of a thing, and Windows didn't have it, so they had their own like slightly less effective form of Tinder, and it didn't work very well. And then my wife was really embarrassed when we met and we got together, and I was using a Windows phone. She's like, I can't. How do you? What? Who are you? But still, this is my life. And it has more of an impact than the dirty, dirty rebels did.